Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Leads for our Power Insight 4 series with Major DP Singh. He is India's first Blade Runner, first amputee skydiver. He is a motivational speaker. He is a change agent and also the founder of the Challenging Ones. In the year 2016, Limca Book of Record added his name to their People of the Year 2016 list. He was conferred with National Award for Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities under the Role Model category. He was also taken Ambassador of the Indian Army in year 2018, which was a year which was dedicated to soldiers who got disabled in their line of duty. In 2019, he was conferred with coveted Kevin Care Ability Mastery Award in recognition of excellence achieved against all odds. He is a true example of a phoenix rising from its ashes. He proves that the disability is in the mind and not in the body. With right attitude and resilience, one can conquer all odds. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and joining us today. And I'm really looking forward to some really powerful insights from you. That's all
Oh,
right. Thank you so
good
much, sir, for
evening.
giving us this opportunity and sharing power insights with us and giving us your time today. So before we get disconnected and have technical hassles, I will like to ask you my first question. So you have been described with many titles like the Kargil War Hero, the first Blade Runner, the first amputee skydiver. But I believe fundamentally behind these achievements are a result of a characteristic and a strong emotion. It has a lot to do with your attitude and your work ethic and your close connect with spirituality. So tell us about the person behind all these laurels and titles, the building blocks of you and what makes you you.
Quite a heavy question, because the person behind all these things, what is known as laurels, is also a person who has faced
Sir, I think I've lost you again
the
because of the
place
connection.
where I was connected with Gurudwara Sahib, Guru Granth Sahib, the history which I have learned from there,
Right.
uh, the value system which I imbibed because I was with my grandparents. So at times this person also feels that he is misfit to the present scenario, because where the world is actually running too fast, losing the foundations and the cultural ethics which we had in our for which we are famous world around, the Indian culture.
Absolutely.
There a person like me, uh, who finds misfit but at the same time feels good that because there are lesser numbers, so the competition is less for people like me. I can stand out still in crowd. So what I what I share is something which I have done myself. I never try to
Sir,
speak anything out of the bookish gyan, but still at times
absolutely, sir.
it appears that I am giving a moral lecture, because that looks like something picked up from book or not possible type of a thing. However, I can vouch. I don't believe in anything which I have not done.
Yes,
So
sir.
whatever I speak is something which I practice myself, and I tried myself somewhere and felt that yes, it is the better way to live life, and that is not something different from what our culture has taught us. What not just Guru Granth Sahib, the way of life, what Gita taught us. In fact, to tell you incident,
Sir.
uh, the first failure which I saw in the SSB, I'm not talking about the failures before that. The first failure which I saw in the SSB was again a crashing type of a feeling, because after a lot of hard work, when I could clear the written exams 2 3 times, and when I went for the SSB, I was full charged up, having overconfidence on me that I'll be able to clear the SSB. But लौट के बुद्धू घर को आए type situation it was. Uh, For the second time when I went, I actually followed the teachings of Gita, which says that you are responsible only and only for your action and karma.
Right, sir.
Not bother about the results.
Sir.
And I followed that actually in reality, because every test I was performing when I was undergoing the SSB, I was just focusing on what best I can do there.
Absolutely. Yes.
And the moment the test was over, I used to just forget about it, forget what I did, was it correct? No, no brooding, no, introspection or no thinking about that, and move on to the next test. And as Gita says that you should not bother about the result, do your
Sir.
best. It did
Sir.
came out true. I cleared the second attempt SSB. So
Sir.
that's the example which I shared, because as I mentioned, it is something, whatever I am talking, whatever I will share with you today also is something which I had done, which I practiced myself.
Sir, I have read your book, The Grit, and your parents, you were with your grandparents, and that had a lot of influence on you. And you have a very close relationship with spirituality. And I often hear you saying this in your speeches that I am the chosen one. God has chosen me for these adversities to make something, to make me face a bigger thing. It's a battle between me and Him. And I feel it gives you a lot of strength. You have drawn a lot of strength from spirituality, and it is something which has helped you in your journey. It's not a short journey ke saal do saal. You have gone through it for decades, and one after another. So how have you really drawn solace from your spirituality and strength from your spirituality? Because just like you also said, it's important to bring this out, because generally people are losing faith in spirituality, in belief, in faith.
So the reason I feel people lose faith fast is because the perception which they have towards challenges and difficulties is a age-old wrong perception set up by the weaker section of the society, which is larger in number,
So,
which feels that difficulties are not good for us. However, we have heard the sayings. One such saying is कि सोना आग से निकल के ही बनता है.
hmm,
तो जब हमने ये सुना है, तो किसी बेवकूफ ने तो नहीं ये बात बताई होगी.
absolutely, sir. Huh?
So we know things, but we don't tend to not to believe on such things. And the reason for that is that we all basically, I feel, including me, are lazy people.
Sir.
We tend to resort to the shortcuts, the easy way out to get success.
Sir.
But success is not a product which can be, brought at one shop in a lesser price or another shop on a higher price, something like that. Success is with the fixed inputs which is required. If you are having a goal in front of you, that goal can only be achieved if you have the abilities to be achiever of that goal.
Sir.
If there is a gap in your abilities, you will never achieve that success. And the gap of that ability in you cannot be filled by anybody outside. It is the you who need to pull your socks and improve yourself, push your limits, go out of the comfort zone, do hard work. There are no shortcuts. So till you are not able enough, say for example, if you want to become a lawyer,
Sir.
if you are not enough to understand the law gimmicks and read the books and excel in that, you will not become a good lawyer. You
Right,
may
sir.
achieve a degree, but you may not become a good lawyer. So who is at law? Who is having the gaps? It's not the law. It's not the books. It is not the institution. It is you.
Yes, sir.
So most often we tend to resort to the shortcuts ki chalta hai, nahi bhi
Hmm.
करें तो, and then we try to look for big, goals in front of us. That's
Sir.
not possible. The possibility of achieving any success lies in your hand, and if you have lacunas, that lacunas are to be filled by only your hard work by yourself.
Absolutely.
That is where we find at times people breaking,
Hmm.
and then they say that the difficulty is bad. Difficulty is only giving you the inputs that these are the areas where you need
Yes,
to work
you
upon.
need to work on.
So this perception towards disability, difficulty is being wrongly understood by people, and that's why they are confused, and that is the reason why they tend to give up fast.
Sir. So your perception towards adversity, it has spurred you to challenge yourself and move ahead. I've heard you say that you decided you'll not compromise on your quality of life. You always decided that, you have actually done which is unthinkable and unattainable, sir. But is there any time when you feel overwhelmed, and how do you get back on track? Because we are all humans. We all have emotions.
Exactly.
So how do you motivate yourself to get back on track, from those feelings of being overwhelmed and
Firstly, let me tell you, it is incorrect to say that unthinkable and undoable,
so
because I thought first and I did later. And because I could think and I could do, it is possible for anybody else also.
absolutely, sir.
Say, for example, running, it's not maybe in the Asian world, it was me who initiated this, but in the Western world, it was already happening. So there are many people
So
who have done this such things. If you say skydiving again in Asian world, I stepped forward and
so
initiated this. However, in the Western world, it is already happening. So the possibility and impossibility thinking and not accepting that it is possible or not possible, it is all mind game. Your universe or your limits are being not set by anybody else. It is by you, and that is in between these two ears, not nowhere else.
so
That is first part. Secondly, uh, feeling overwhelmed, or if I use a much simpler word, feeling sad, feeling hurt,
yes, sir.
this is all human. In fact, not just sad or bad or hurt, I do cry also. And
So
I don't believe in saying that men don't cry.
so
It's all crap. If
yes, sir.
you, it's a, if there is a emotion which is being given by Almighty, that means it is correct.
So
However, Almighty and nature always say another thing, that everything should be in balance. The moment you
so
lose the balance, that means something is wrong. If
so
if there is a disbalance in nature, that is why the earthquake is there.
so
That is why tsunami is there. So the similarly, your universe is you yourself, your mind, body, heart. If there is a disbalance in that, that means there would be some storm inside you which will shake you up.
so
So, so feeling sad, hurtful, or feeling bad is not good. Is not bad. However, staying in that emotion is bad.
absolutely, sir. Yes,
So
true.
it should be just, when I feel sad or bad,
So
when I feel like crying, I just cry out for a moment or two.
so
Maybe initially I used to take a lot more time. Later on, slowly and slowly, these negative emotions I was able to tame through the positive emotion side, and the time reduced. So now perhaps I take much lesser time what I used to take earlier in the sad state.
so
What is important is to balance it out by your action again, because staying in those moments is not going to achieve anything in your life. That
absolutely,
means
sir.
you're agreeing that I am happy in this and I don't want to do anything in my life.
So
If you really love yourself, then get up, get going, and start working and push your limits to achieve the goal. That's
so
more important.
yes, sir. Sir, there's a question from the audience which I will like to take. Sir, you have challenged your own boundaries by becoming first Blade Runner, and it's an inspiration to many of us, even those who don't have disabilities. We look at you as a role model for smiling through adversities of life. This is a Koji writing, sir. Her name is Sarah Alpha, so it's obvious. Were you always like this even before the accident, or you have discovered inner reserves of mental strength and energy once the adversity happened?
Well, I say that I am lucky not because I just met with an so-called this accident. I say I am lucky because such adversities or such challenging situations,
Sir,
you have read my book, you know about it, were being thrown in front of me since my childhood days.
sir,
So I feel that I am chosen one because I was being prepared like that since my childhood days, so that I know how to smile in adversities. I know that if you are in pain, smiling reduces the pain, crying
sir,
further adds your misery.
sir,
So these things I was practicing since my childhood days, and that is how it could become easy for me to, tame the biggest of shortcoming to convert it into the opportunity which, and I feel, very humbly, I should say that, as I mentioned, it is just because I am a chosen one. I don't feel that I have done much great. It's because the power
sir.
is being given as blessings by the Almighty.
So you use very powerful lines that the willpower and your strength lies between the ears, right here. It's all about perception and thought process, right, sir? So what is like your whole life you have? It's just based on your perception, your attitude, and your resilience that you've overcome one problem after the other, right from the childhood. So, what is it that we need to change in our attitudes and outlooks today, which will make us more resilient and, which will change our perception towards these adversities?
So, as I mentioned earlier, also, only thing what you need to understand is that if there is a adversity, there is a challenge in front of you, given to you in particular, anybody,
So,
that person is a chosen one.
right, sir.
Because a difficult task, be it in professional life or a difficult task, be in you as a student, is only given to somebody who is good,
Yes,
not
sir.
to any Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Absolutely.
So you are good. You should feel good that there is a difficult task which has been assigned to me, and only after performing best in the difficult task, you rise better. You rise more successful.
Sir.
So success is only passing after passing through the challenging situation. So if you wish to achieve a better yourself in the future, then you will embrace such things. Otherwise, you will find yourself,
Sir.
not in a very good situation. So masses obviously feel like that.
Sir.
Now it's your choice whether you want to stand apart or you want to be a part of Bheed.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, why did you choose running? I mean, something which you loved doing before and you wanted to continue doing it, or it gave you a sense of peace, a sense of achievement, or it motivated you. What was the reason?
Nothing of that sort. I was never a long distance runner in academy. Also, the cross country used to be a
I'm
forced test.
actually surprised to see here that
Actually, the cross country was a forced test for me, like any other test which is supposed to be passed.
for most
And
of us.
I I was like push गिरते पड़ते second enclosure में किसी तरीके से आ जाते थे.
So,
But it is only that inner feeling of DP Singh who at times, tend to break the stereotypical thinking. To tell you what the DP Singh is, I'll quote one example. When in my childhood, I used to hear that दोहा कि दुख में सिमरन सब करें सुख में करे ना कोई जो सुख में सिमरन करे तो दुख काहे को हुई.
so,
तो उससे मुझे एक बात ये समझ में तो नहीं आती आई शायद इतनी डीपली कि सुख और दुख दोनों में सिमरन करना चाहिए. दैट इज अंडरस्टूड.
so,
लेकिन एक और बात समझ में आई थी कि सुख में भले सिमरन मैं कर लूं लेकिन दुख में कभी नहीं करूंगा.
so,
बिकॉज इफ दैट इज इजी वे रिजॉर्ट कि दुख में सिमरन करके आप पास थ्रू कर जाओ, देन परहैप्स आई विल बिकम वीक. सो आई विल नॉट रिमेम्बर एनीबडी इन टाइम्स ऑफ when I am in need.
so,
And that became a reality for me in life that maybe that's the reason why, all those areas where I couldn't find answer, I felt that now it is important to find the answer here. So
Correct.
single-handedly, without support system or without any advices, or as we call in फौजी parlance PCK, पीछे के
Correct.
कोई notes नहीं थे उसके ऊपर.
Correct.
तो वो कुछ इसलिए कर पाया बिकॉज वो क्रिटिकल स्टीरियोटिपिकल थॉट प्रोसेस को तोड़ने वाला जो डीपी सिंह था, वो बचपन में ही उसके दिमाग में ये बात आ गई थी कि दुख में नहीं कभी भी सिमरन करना करूंगा, मैं सुख में भले कर लूँ, सुख में
Correct.
करूंगा, बिकॉज आई विल convey my gratitude always for whatever I have achieved, whatever has been given to me is because of the blessings of Almighty.
Correct. Sir, between 99 to 2009, it was a long journey for you. You adapted to different styles of running, the hop running, and you were trying to find the right prosthetic to get into. You also shared somewhere that your stump used to get injured and you had to recover from that also. So, sir, tell us a little about that journey, sir, because I believe you traveled up to US to get the right kind of prosthetic fitting and everything.
I think I missed out completing the previous answer because you had asked that why did I choose running.
Oh, sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
that's my fault because I lost the track. But because your next question was connecting, so I could remember
Sir.
that much. So I picked up running because of this reason only. When I realized that the perception toward disability of both society and persons with disability is connected to wrong negative perception that it is your bad karma's result. However, as a Fauji, I feel that if I got it in war, and Gita says that it is good to be, raise a weapon. Even Guru
Sir.
Granth Sahib, Guru Gobind Singh says that when everything fails, if you raise a weapon, it is justified. So, as a soldier, if I was in war and I got injured there, it can't be a wrong deed on my part. It is something mismatch, and how, in order to change this perception only, I felt that let me pick up the weapon, the most difficult task what a soldier should do by conveying back in the form of action. And the
Sir.
most difficult task for an amputee is to go for a long distance run. And it was more difficult for me because I was never interested in long distance run. It is only after losing the leg I came to know that half marathon is 21 kilometers and let's do this. So that's one part. Second part to the question you asked, that of course it was a difficult thing because I did not know how to run with the normal processes. And then when I got blade, I felt for a moment that now I'll be able to fly because running like a normal person is easy.
Sir.
But it came with additional challenges because every blade run initially for 3-4 times, it used to left me injured badly because of the
Fiction.
uh, abrasion and friction which the
Sir.
hard socket used to do with my body. So I could have left it there, but then again left it there because I became the first amputee marathon runner, and then after first blade run, I became the first blade runner. Now I got the record on my name, but that's not what soldier is expected to do. If soldier has been given a task, he is supposed to complete the task. So the
Sir.
injury came as a task for me. So I felt that now it is time to find the solution of the injury so that I become injury free, and then I can share that with other amputees.
Sir.
And that only led to the origin of my group, the challenging ones.
Sir. Sir, what motivated you to do skydiving?
Actually, I get bored very fast. I started running, and running, as I mentioned, was not something which I was interested in. It is by virtue of being a soldier, I had to convey that fact that ability lies in mind, not in body parts.
Sir.
Of course, then running gave me solace in the form of all those injuries which were troubling me. My intestine, my splinter, pain here, pain there, bad left leg का जो एक knee बचा हुआ है वो भी operated. It used to create a lot of pain and stuff like that. Though all those pains and effect of injuries got tamed because when you put into when you put your body into action, so the physical activity, improves the activity of the organs who are supposed to behave.
Yes,
All
sir.
the organs who are misbehaving, they realize that ये हमारा उस्ताद आ गया है, अब तो हमको behave करना पड़ेगा. So
Huh.
all those aches and pains got tamed. So
Sir.
that was a good part of running, and that's how I kept on running. But running as a soothing thing was never for me, because for me, when I'm running, have to keep a concentration on road. I have to see if there is a pothole, if there is a pebble, if there is a likelihood of me falling, and still I fall many a time.
Sir.
So it was never like you are enjoying the nature or something like that. So that is the reason I used to get bored running on road. So I chose different arenas, different areas, high altitude, off track. And then I felt that what next?
Sir.
So for long, about 2 3 years, I was exploring that how do I go to the sky and do a skydiving. Again, there was not much of answers, but my inner passion was clear that I have to do it.
Sir.
So, like in running, I found the answer of how to run. Similarly, in skydiving, I found universe helped, and the air of disciple came, and General Rawat agreed. In fact, he was also of the opinion that something big should be done. So
Sir.
I used the opportunity. I suggested that I want to do skydiving, and he said, "Please go ahead, and adventure self will train you." And I did that.
Amazing, sir. That's amazing. Sir, I have a question from the audience. It says, as a leader, it is not always possible to be around people who are equally motivated or have different motivating factors. It is a challenge for a leader to understand the level of motivation of all. Someone like you who has unique and unparalleled perspective to adversities, how do you accommodate different levels of motivation around you?
I agree fully with the person who asked question that not just as a leader. In fact, at times leader also may not be motivated enough. That's also because he or she also is a human being. But that is where you should be different. When your team needs you, you are supposed to step up and lead by your action.
Sir.
That's what we do in the armed forces also. It's always the young officers, the middle level officers who lead from front, the men. And when men see them that they are performing, the officers are performing, they overtake them.
Sir.
And that is where and this is the resultant of the Chatwood motto that country comes first, then comes your team, and and in the end comes your own ease and comfort. Because
Sir.
you are taking care of your team. That is why
Sir.
you are leading from front. And
Sir.
because you are leading from front, so men also understand and they come in front of you. But what happens most of the time, me comes first and others come after me is the policy perhaps we follow.
Sir.
So when everybody feels that I come first and rest of them come behind me, then it will not work.
Sir.
It will only work when you take care of others, when you take care of
Sir.
your team will take care of you.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, with your permission, can I take one or more two questions from the audience because there
Go
are
ahead, go ahead.
many. So, sir, please, there is Mr. Ashish Sharma who says he has run with you in Noida and you are an inspiration. And then there is a question which says, share your first thoughts when you learnt about your injury and what life is going to be after that. Further, what was the turning point for you? I mean, so how did you probably accept it and move on? Because I always hear you, sir, saying that in your talks, you knew what's going to happen because you could just see your bone, and the doctor was uncomfortable and you were like, "मुझे पता है, so मतलब it's okay," types. But sir, seriously, but what were your thoughts? It would have not been so simple, I'm sure.
So that's why, in the beginning, I told about this fact that at times, whatever I say, people feel it is not something possible. It looks like a moral lecture, but that's not the reality. The reality actually is when doctor was mustering the courage to share and going from one side of the bed to the other side, I could see that there is no flesh left on the leg, so there
Sir,
is no way it can be saved. I perhaps feel there are two reasons to it. One reason
sir,
is, of course, as I mentioned from the very beginning, in since my childhood, I was exposed to adversity, and I was connected to my history, Gurdwara Sahib,
sir,
where the extreme of adversities, the examples of extreme of adversities were given in the Sikh history.
sir,
Gurus have sacrificed their whole family without shedding even a single tear.
true,
So
sir.
when you come from that type of a background, it looks odd that you are crying or feeling bad about just losing a leg. That's very, very demeaning, disrespectful your history.
Sir,
And similarly, not just in the Sikh history, but in the armed forces history also,
sir,
there are braves who have etched their names by the type of sacrifices they have done for saving the nation. So if you are just crying over nonsense, I feel it is a nonsense only because I just lost a leg. Then it is very, very disrespectful to all those people.
so that's a very powerful perspective, and you it takes a lot of strength and it takes a lot of courage of character and conviction to think like that. A lot of people victimize themselves at the smallest of things, you know. So I mean, this is an example which we all should follow, that it's important to count your blessings and see what other people have and don't have. So another question is which says that what are the changes you have seen in yourself over the years as a person?
I think uh, I think I have attained a little more patience than what I was earlier.
Uh,
I was very angry man type of a guy. It did not help me much, but that rebellious thing actually, of course, pushed me, enabled me to stretch my comfort zone. But now I have more patience to uh, take the failures in my stride in a much better way than what I used to take earlier.
so
So overall, it the different type of adversities have helped me only to become better person, a balanced human being. But I don't think that I'm yet at par with what I feel that I should be.
sir,
I don't know whether I'll be able to become that balanced, what I aspire to be.
so
But the work in progress will always be there.
you're already very balanced and very very strong. I mean, it gave me goosebumps to listen to your perspective that you cannot crib about losing a leg. I mean, seriously, sir, uh, I don't even have words to express. You know, sir, there is a lot of public attention and the sentiment which is there with people with physical disabilities or amputees. You know, most of it is in form of sympathy. But people don't want sympathy; they want understanding and they want respect. Probably empathy would be the right word, is what they're looking for. You know, you have leveraged that attention to inspire and motivate hundreds by running so many marathons, by never I think you're living a better life than those who don't have a disability. And you founded the Challenging Ones, which is a NGO now, sir, and it
Yes.
is a platform to empower and connect and provide support to amputees. Sir, please tell us more about that, sir, about your platform and what all you are doing for the amputees and the handicaps.
I think this sympathy, empathy, and such words are used too much, but people perhaps don't know the correct definition of these words. They confuse in between both the words.
Sir.
And even if they are using the word empathy, it is very, very, very difficult for somebody to get into the shoes of somebody else and understand that what perhaps that person might be going through, because that is what is empathy.
Sir.
No one has that much of effort and time and energy to try. Very few people understand that. I find that the two things which are missing in today's world is empathy and compassion. And two things which are very, very easily available is hate and vengeance. And that is the reason why too much of chaos is going on all around. Well, coming to the challenging one, the challenging one is a word which I picked up from physically challenged.
Sir.
So when after 4 of my marathons, I felt that it's not a tukka, it's not a fluke happening. It is possible to run with artificial leg, and now it is possible to run with the blade because that was my fourth and but the first blade run. So I've thought that there is a need of a platform where whatever I have deciphered individually as an amputee, let nobody else should reinvent the wheel for himself or herself. So, so that's why physically challenge is the word I picked up, and I felt that it's not physically challenge. It is we are challengers, and a group of challengers are known as the challenging ones.
Sir.
So that's a platform as an NGO, and we have now connected around 22, 2300 amputees across India. And in that, I don't give any gadget or support system. I don't create any support system for anybody because that's where I feel that people become weak.
Sir.
Support system is not required. It is more of a inner fire, more of a passion, and more of a belief on the fact that I am the chosen one. I can stand out. I've already been made something who stands apart and stand larger than others. The only gap is that I have to accept that I am a chosen one. The moment I accept, then I will do a lot of activities which people who have the able bodies or so called, perhaps they are also not able to do. So with this type of thought process, when they start, doing activities in any type of sports and adventure arena, because sports is the field which enables your correct attitude. Sports arena
Sir.
is that. So that's why we use sports, especially the marathon, as the most difficult task. Once that person understands this fact that I was limiting myself, however, I am a chosen one. So his whole life changes. Then running and doing activities is just a part of game. We make him or her realize that life is in your hand.
Sir.
Reach for the sky and do whatever you feel like.
Sir.
That's the thing which we work upon.
Sir, thank you so much. And my last question before we conclude today's session is, sir, what is your advice for the youth of the today for today, sir?
So I think we have discussed about it.
Sir.
Somebody who wish to enjoy, live a quality life, and progress, and want to see himself as improved person in with every passing birthday. Because if you're cutting cake on birthday, you should retrospectively introspect yourself that have you improved in this last 1 year as a human being, as an individual. If not, then it is just a date for you. Then 1 year has got wasted. So if you wish to actually live life like that, then change the perspective which people are carrying towards the challenges and difficulties.
Right, sir.
It is only meant for chosen ones, for their help to improve and grow in life.
Right,
If
sir.
you understand this fact, then sky is the limit. And I would say even sky may fall short. Whatever you wish to achieve in dream to achieve, it is possible.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today and sharing such powerful insights with us. I mean, the session has actually been an eye opener with me, and it's a complete honor to speak with you, sir, face to face. Now, this is face to face in the today's scenario. So thank you so much, sir, for your time and being here with us, sir.
Thank you, Samyata. Somyata, sorry. I
Sir.
missed your name. Thank you so much, and God bless you, each one of you. Keep smiling like that always.
Right,
God
sir.
bless you.
Thank you
Jai
so
Hind.
much, sir. Jai Hind, sir.